Chapter 2, the 70-30 Principle.
The 70-30th principle aligns with biblical teachings on giving and stewardship. Malachi chapter 3 verse 10 calls for bringing the whole tithe into the storehouse, with the promise of blessings. Luke chapter 6 verse 38 teaches about the principle of giving, stating, "Give, and it will be given to you. A good measure, pressed down, shaken together and running over, will be poured into your lap. For with the measure you use, it will be measured to you." These teachings emphasize the importance of generosity and its reciprocal nature in biblical wisdom. The concept of the 70-30th principle is not solely about financial allocation. It is about aligning your resources with biblical teachings. Implementing this principle involves thoughtful planning and commitment to faithful stewardship. Practical application of this principle entails allocating 30% towards savings, investments, tithing, and charitable giving into God's kingdom work, while responsibly managing 70% for living expenses and wise financial stewardship. This balanced approach enables you to experience financial freedom while honoring God with your resources.
Let's unlock the power of the 70-30th principle, a divine guide to balance giving and managing. Picture allocating 30% towards savings, investing, tithing, and giving in causes dear to your heart. The 70-30th plan is a financial strategy that allocates 70% of one's income toward living expenses and regular financial commitments while earmarking the remaining 20% for savings, investments and personal enrichment, and 10% to tithing. The 20% is often dedicated to building an emergency fund or savings account to cover unexpected expenses or future financial goals. It may also go toward investments like stocks, bonds, retirement accounts, or other vehicles to secure long-term financial growth. Some opt to invest in personal growth, education, skills enhancement, or self-improvement, such as courses, books, or seminars.
When it comes to tithing, this practice typically involves dedicating 10% of one's earnings to support religious organizations, charities, or causes that align with personal beliefs. Tithing is often seen as a spiritual and Christian duty, embodying the concept of giving back and supporting those in need. This practice reflects the divine call to honor God with our resources, paving the way for blessings and prosperity. Here is a scenario with applying the 70-30th principle. Here's Sarah's example. Sarah, a professional, decides to apply the 70-30th principle to her finances. She designates 30% of her income for savings, investments, and tithing. Specifically, she honors God by tithing 10% of her income and donates to charitable causes that resonate with her faith. The remaining 70% of her income is allocated for her living expenses and debt repayment. Sarah's example shows how adopting the 70-30th principle aligns with biblical teachings, encourages financial discipline, and allows her to prioritize giving while managing her finances responsibly. Here's how Sarah allocates her $5,000 of her monthly net income, which is her take-home pay. Sarah's total monthly net income is $5,000. 70% of her net income is for living expenses and debt repayment, which equates to $3,500. 30% of $5,000 is for savings, investments, and tithing, which equals $1,500. Tithing, 10%. $500 will go to tithing, which is 10% of her net. $1,000 will be allocated to her savings, investments. The key components here is that $500 is dedicated to honoring God and supporting religious and charitable endeavors. $1,000 for building financial security and future growth. Sarah's living expenses and debt repayment is $3,500 for daily necessities and debt management. Sarah's approach demonstrates how the 70-30th plan can balance financial strategies by integrating faith-based giving with practical financial management. This method promotes generosity and ensures long-term financial health and discipline. By following this principle, Sarah ensures her financial choices reflect her spiritual values, showcasing how the 70-30th plan can effectively align faith with financial practices. Biblical teachings often emphasize principles that encourage a balanced approach to financial allocation. Central to these teachings is the concept of stewardship, viewing money and resources as gifts from a higher authority to be managed wisely. A key principle in this context is the importance of earning, saving, and sharing wealth in a balanced manner. Also, biblical teachings caution against the dangers of excessive wealth accumulation and the love of money. For instance, the New Testament warns that the love of money is the root of all kinds of evil. 1 Timothy chapter 6 verse 10. This principle encourages a balanced perspective on wealth, emphasizing spiritual fulfillment and ethical responsibility over the relentless pursuit of material possessions. By adhering to these teachings, individuals can cultivate a holistic and balanced approach to managing their finances. Moreover, biblical teachings advocate for careful planning and prudence in financial matters. The parable of the talents in Matthew chapter 25 verses 14 to 30 emphasizes the importance of wise investment and proper stewardship of resources. It encourages making thoughtful decisions about resource allocation, acknowledging the responsibility to grow and multiply wealth while recognizing the importance of humility and gratitude for what has been entrusted. Biblical principles offer a comprehensive framework for financial allocation, promoting a balanced approach that includes stewardship, generosity, caution against the love of money, and prudent planning. These teachings guide us towards responsible resource management, fostering both personal well-being and communal support. Furthermore, biblical teachings emphasize contentment with what we have, rather than an endless pursuit of material possessions. This focus on contentment aligns with the idea that true wealth is not solely measured by material assets but includes inner peace, relationships, and spiritual fulfillment. By fostering contentment, these teachings promote a balanced mindset, encouraging thoughtful resource allocation and prioritizing what truly matters. Biblical teachings underscore the importance of planning and foresight in financial matters. Proverbs, for example, highlights the wisdom of planning for the future by saving and investing wisely. It encourages us to consider the long-term consequences of our financial decisions and to prepare for unexpected circumstances by setting aside resources for difficult times. This focus on prudence and forward thinking forms a pillar of balanced financial management. Another key teaching centers on the concept of being a good steward of resources. This extends beyond monetary wealth to include time, talents, and other blessings. We are called to manage and allocate resources in ways that benefit not only ourselves but also others and the broader community. The stewardship principle promotes a balanced approach by urging us to use our resources wisely, recognizing that they are gifts entrusted to us and should be used responsibly. Biblical teachings clarify that wealth and possessions are not inherently evil, but the love of money and materialism can lead to ethical and spiritual pitfalls. We are encouraged to balance financial success with spiritual well-being, avoiding the pursuit of wealth at the expense of moral values and relationships. This balanced perspective fosters a harmonious approach to wealth allocation, where financial prosperity coexists with ethical considerations and spiritual growth.
You can download a free copy of my ebook now, Financial Wisdom Mastering the 70-30 Rule with Biblical Teaching.